The pollution problem has reached its utter peak in Delhi and in the National Capital Region. The AQI today was over 400 in most places, which is severe category. It's hazardous for your health. And the Delhi government has imposed GRAP IV, which means that schools will be in hybrid mode. There will be less than any BS4 cars will not be allowed inside the National Capital Region. Government offices will be on, again, work from home. Private offices are advised 50% work from home, 50% work from office. But here's the thing. This whole system of measuring AQI and then responding to the AQI, this whole GRAP system, is a post-facto system. It kicks into action only after the air quality has dipped and dipped so badly as we are seeing today in Delhi. It'll be in place for a few days, and then once the air gets slightly better, we'll be back to square one, going back to our old polluting ways. The question is, instead of having a reactive approach, who is going to take a proactive approach in tackling Delhi's pollution problem? Even the parliament, now in the very fag end, it was for 3 weeks, this is the third and final week of the winter session. In the very fag end of the winter session, they've decided to take up the pollution debate. Why? Why is pollution not the number one priority issue, even for our parliamentarians, even for those who have to come to Delhi to attend parliament, even if it's just a few times a year? This should be the number one issue. This should be the issue that everybody is riveted and talking about, but unfortunately, that is not the case. I want to play out a short sort of walkthrough that my colleague Shrishti did from different parts, landmark areas in the national capital, and you just get to see how bad the situation was. In fact, there was 0 departures from the Indira Gandhi International Airport in Delhi till about 10 a.m. this morning.
It's a chilly morning here in the national capital this Monday. As you can see behind me, the extent of the fog, in this case, smog, has really enveloped the entire national capital region. Now we are here at the Akshardham flyover where we can see that the visibility has really come down. Now according to the India Meteorological Department, the visibility has gone down to 50 meters both at Palam as well as Safdarjung. Now if you remember, over the last 3 days, the air quality in the national capital has really plummeted. Now on 13th December, it crossed the 400 mark. Now AQI index anywhere between 400 to 450 falls into the severe category. But yesterday, it also crossed the 450 mark of severe plus. Now, according to the Central Pollution Control Board, the daily AQI index for Delhi was recorded at 466, which falls into the severe plus category. It was equally worse in Noida, where it was 468. Now, the residents of Delhi are definitely breathing extremely toxic air, which is high in particulate matter, PM 2.5, PM 10. There are toxic gases here, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxides, and other particulate matter, which is making it difficult to breathe.
So what does it actually mean in real terms when the air quality index crosses 100? That is the equivalent of having 2 cigarettes a day. Even if you're a non-smoker, it is actually having the effect that you're smoking 2 cigarettes a day. If the AQI is above 200, then your lungs basically take a hit of 7 cigarettes a day. It's almost like smoking a pack of cigarettes an entire day if the AQI is above 200. If it is above 400, it's literally like smoking 2 full packets and a little more of cigarettes, 23 cigarettes per day. That's the impact that it has on your lungs. In fact, over the last few days, the impact of the AQI above 400, that's what it's been in the national capital over these last few days, as a result of which GRAP IV has been instituted. If it's above 650, it's like smoking 34 cigarettes or 3 packets a day. And if it's above 850, then it's literally like killing yourself. It is 4 packets of cigarettes, 43 cigarettes a day. You don't really need to smoke to destroy your lungs in Delhi this season. Just breathing this toxic air is bad enough. So it's a grey skyline. The traffic was barely visible. In fact, like I said, the airport was completely jammed out. Not a single flight took off till about 10 a.m. or so. Even the Prime Minister's takeoff had to be delayed by an hour because of the bad fog and smog. But could this have been avoided? Now, right now, Delhi is under GRAP IV. I'll get to what GRAP IV means in 1 second. But clearly, They could have better prepared for this. GRAP stages 1 and 2 could have been identified earlier, and these measures could have come into place much earlier. Action was needed when the air turned poor, which is above 150, and when it turned very poor, which was above 250, not after it became a health emergency when it crossed 400, and therefore GRAP IV had to be instituted. Construction dust, that is the single biggest reason for why Delhi is so polluted. Construction happens throughout the year. Construction dust was left unchecked. Strict monitoring is required at every site, which in fact should be the norm. If you go abroad to Dubai or Bangkok or any of these places where there is large-scale construction, every single building is mandated to be watered twice in the day, and also they should have these nettings which cover the entire construction so that dust does not accumulate outside the construction premises. Round-the-clock dust control should also have been mandatory, not an optional service. There should have been zero tolerance to open waste burning. Even today, in large parts of the national capital, there is open burning of waste that happens. Heavy penalties should be instituted across the entire NCR, but that is somehow never implemented on the ground. Smog towers and sprinklers, they are a last-minute fix. They're really not going to solve this problem once the AQI crosses 400. They should have been ready, they should have been deployed much before the pollution problem peaked. And yet, despite all of this, all that we get from our politicians, who, by the way, many of whom have to turn up in Parliament in the middle of this toxic air, all that we get from our politicians is tooting their horn, and when times get tough, they resort to the same routine blame game. Let's listen in to some of these folks, and then we'll open this up to our panelists as well.
In 2019, I had moved a 193 on pollution, and I had led the discussion in the Lok Sabha. Nothing has changed between 2019 and 2025. Pollution is worse. I have a 193 on pollution in this session also. So therefore, under those circumstances, this is the most critical thing Parliament should be discussing.
देखिए, हमें ये समझना पड़ेगा कि दिल्ली बदहाल स्थिति में कैसे पहुंची। पिछले 10 सालों में अरविंद केजरीवाल की सरकार दिल्ली में रही, लेकिन पोल्यूशन पर एक भी कदम अरविंद केजरीवाल की सरकार ने उठाया नहीं। जब से हमारी सरकार दिल्ली में बनी है, सरकार लगातार पोल्यूशन को कम करने के लिए काम कर रही है, चाहे वो सांसद हो, चाहे वो विधायक हो या स्वयं मुख्यमंत्री हो। सड़क पर आपको दिखाई दे रहे हैं। हम दिल्ली के लोगों को स्वच्छ हवा देंगे, लेकिन क्योंकि 10 साल में इतना बदहाली हो गई है, उसको ठीक करने में थोड़ा समय जरूर लगेगा।